Hi, hello, my name's Deviraj. I'm back with this from a series of talks about bioenergetics and therapy in general. And today I wanted to look at, because I'm leading bioenergetics workshops all the time. It's my main kind of job these days, really. And of course, when I look out at the group room, mostly people are not looking too happy when they're doing the exercises, which is understandable because you've got your body in some kind of weird position and you got me on the mic telling you to keep breathing and feeling and all of this, and of course you're opening up areas of your body where you've stored a lot of repressed feelings, where the mind's been repressing, and of course what it's repressing it's not used to, and it doesn't really want to feel it. So it's inevitably a bit of a struggle, and often I can see people with real bulldog face on or whatever. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. Curiously enough, what I've been working with a bit recently in my regular groups at Osho Lila in Dorset is to get people laughing or get people expressing a bit more or just saying stupid stuff. And some of the positions, not all the positions lend themselves to this, but some of the positions really do. Particularly in the bow position, you can laugh, just laugh. You could be there kind of, I'm holding my phone at the minute, so I can't do the whole thing. But stretching back, you've got to, oh God, I don't fucking do this kind of thing. If you just open your mouth and laugh, it's curious that the movement of laughter internally relaxes and releases a lot of holding of itself. So if you combine it with bioenergetics, it can be quite powerful. And ideally, you want to do a kind of Santa Claus laugh, like ho 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 ho. And just laughing like that. You can laugh, like Santa. You can laugh like a crazy man if you want to, But putting that energy out is very useful in the bow position. It's really easy. And a lot of exercises I work a lot at a heart level, and that means exercises around the shoulders, shoulder blades, upper middle of the back. And in those, as well as the bow, you can also, just start shouting out stupid, positive stuff. Like, I fucking love it. When, your mind is screaming, I don't want to do this shit anymore, and you're doing some weird position, try shouting out, I love it. I could do this shit all day. I fucking love it. And, it's a curious thing. It's a curious thing, but it works. For most people, it works, especially when they've got a little bit of experience. They've been doing the exercises for a little while. People in the program here have to do it twice a week. And what I notice is, you can go into really, 10 minutes of some quite full-on exercises that normally, people would be, within a couple of minutes, they're like complaining and grunging inside. They're doing it, but it's not a pleasant experience. And then if you start just shouting out, yes, I can do it. I can do it all fucking day if I want to, If you start screaming and shouting it out, assuming you can make a bit of sound where you're practicing, then you'd be surprised. There's a kind of point where the mind just gets into that and it stops fighting. It stops fighting. It's like we accept, you accept that, yeah, you're in this horrible position. You don't want to be in this horrible position, but you just accept it and start to express from there. And of course, you can also release sound. People often ask me about sound in bioenergetics, as in just making a noise. And I actually don't recommend people to scream and shout so much, but it's fine to make a natural sound on the out breath. To maybe feel into an area of your body where there's a lot of tension in the pose and just make a sound on the out breath. It's actually fine. And that can create a release. When you go to your mind and start screaming and shouting and giving it the big one, it doesn't always release so much. I mean, you might get a release anyway, but it's more natural to look for natural sound. It's generally more releasing to look for a natural sound, which is just opening your mouth and allowing something out. Maybe focusing at a certain point of tension in your body while you do it. The screaming and shouting I also teach as a slightly different therapy, but and sometimes in bioenergetics it's appropriate, but a lot of the time it's more you want to make some level of sound, but you can use the laughter, screaming and shouting, crazy positivity, or just making natural sound. Okay, so I hope this little talk helps you along your way and you get to actually experience at some point being in a horrible position for 10 minutes and just making sound to the point where, or mindless positivity to the point where you just believe it and keep going. It gives an incredible release. Okay, over and out, and hope to see you back here on YouTube soon.